ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. In life, we see so many people who are very unfortunate, and we feel very much unhappy that we could not render any kind of help to such a people. If that misery is because of lack of material things, anybody can help them. But all calamities are not due to the lack of wealth. There are psychological traumas which people undergo, and they cannot share such trauma which is going on in them with any other person. So they live aloof. They don't want to come in the social circles. They live with that shame and guilt. Now, I want to narrate a kind word of wisdom and full of divinity, how it uplifts and transforms that psychological trauma. Let us examine. Once there was a gang molestation of women happened in USA. So all the women who have undergone that trauma got aborted except one woman. That woman has accepted the event and decided to bear and give birth to the child. She gave birth to a male child. Subsequently, and she loved her child and brought him up. So till 8 to 10 years, till he attained that age, the boy continuously faced the insults, because everybody used to ask, who is your father? And he could not answer such questions. That's why he felt ashamed, felt guilty, and he used to absent himself from the social gatherings and all that. So, at the age of that particular between 8 and 10, his friend, one of his friends, told him that there was a church, and in that church, a new pastor, has been giving lectures, and they're very good. Why don't you come and listen those lectures of the pastor? And they are very peaceful. The way in which he is sharing, it really enlightening every visitor, and they are deriving peace and joy from such a attendance. So the boy started listening the lectures of the pastor in the church. So he used to attend the gathering where the pastor gives lecture. After the beginning of the lecture by the pastor, and he used to leave that place before the last sermon ends, so that he will not be noticed by anybody in the gathering. So one day it so happened that he could not go out before the climax of the lecture. He was held up there in the gathering. The lecture ended, and he was trying to get out from the hall. So in that crowd, suddenly one hand from behind has touched his shoulders. So he turned and saw that man. He was none other than the pastor. The pastor used to observe this boy from his dais and noticed the boy's arrival and departures. So he was curious and want to talk to the boy. So the pastor asked the boy, "Who is your father?" See, the boy is constantly trying to escape and avoid such questions because he doesn't know the answer. So immediately when pastor raised this question, his facial expressions have changed drastically, and some from the crowd also stopped and tried to hear the conversations. The pastor has noticed the pathetic facial expressions of the boy, and immediately he realized that he has not put the right question, and the question raised by him is embarrassing him. Embracing the boy. So immediately the pastor said, "I know who your father is." Then the boy and also others who is observing this conversation got stunned. The pastor continued, I know your father and mother. These people around you and in the society, they know only their mortal father and mortal mother. But you are the Son of God. You are a divine child. Your parents are Holy Father and Holy Mother. You have got such an inheritance of divine which nobody has got in this society. So don't feel guilty and be ashamed. Be proud of your divine inheritance and live as a son of God with that divine inheritance in your life. Go ahead, live accordingly and realize the potential of the divine life they have bestowed on you. So, such the boy got so much relief and he got himself transformed with the awareness of his divine inheritance, and he decided to live as a son of God with full potential in his life. After this incident, 30 years later, one governor by name Ben Hooper, while administering the office and addressing, he has shared this incident happened in his life. He was none other than Ben Hooper, who has become one of the governors of the United States of America. So, not now, in the past. So, such is the power of the words of that pastor in the church. See, the words which flows from a wise and divine person in the presence of the divinity are true, and the God, it is not the pastor who has consoled, it is not the pastor who has realized the words spoken by him earlier. It is the God in the form of the pastor has got the boy remembered his inheritance. In fact, the pastor has awakened the inheritance of the divine in the boy. And so, every child is a divine gift, and everyone, all of us are the children of God. Let us live as sons and daughters of that divine Father and Mother, and spread the joy and bliss of love and peace. Let us realize the divine inheritance. Let us spread the fragrance of that divine love to all the people around us. Thank you.